Hello, my name is Sebasticide and this video is sponsored by Donner. They have asked me if I could talk about their new guitar, the Hush X Pro. I normally don't talk about guitars, I just play them, but this time I said yes because I had a good time playing this guitar and I find it really interesting and I just wanna share it with all of you. The first thing that I want to talk about this guitar is that it has amp modeling inside it. And I found this to be really unique because you don't need any extra pedals or amplifiers. Whenever you have pedal boards or other attachments, you usually need power supplies, cables, and you need to bring that with you. So just having it in one place, it's really convenient. One example of this is when I was going to university, I used to have a lot of space in between lessons, and I would just grab my guitar and practice. But of course, I didn't have any amplifier, so I would just put my ear next to my guitar and see if I could hear. If I had this guitar, it would have been much easier because you can just plug in some headphones and you have a very close tone of what you normally use. I will showcase the interface of this guitar as well as two tones that I made with it. I made a distortion tone using the bridge humbucker pickup and a clean tone using the single coil position. So this is how the screen of the guitar looks like. You have a tuner if you hold this button. You can choose your amp or cab. You can also put effects such as reverb, delays, and the thing that I want to mention and showcase is that you can simulate different pickups. So for example, you have Telecaster, Les Paul, Strat. In this case, I just went for the normal pickups of the guitar, and then I EQ'd them to my preference for the distortion tone that I am showcasing. It also has a Bluetooth button in case you want to practice with your own backing tracks. I find this guitar really useful for people who are traveling and just don't want to bring everything. It's a very convenient thing to have because it also lets you record directly to your computer as if it were a small audio interface. I go to jams from time to time in the city, and over there you don't really have time to set up guitar effects or pedal boards, so just having something where you can just plug in and have your sound and the things that you feel comfortable playing, that's really good, and I really enjoy that aspect of this guitar. So in terms of playability, the things that I liked about this guitar is that obviously it's really small, and that makes the guitar have a very small scale. So what that means is that the strings are usually not very tight, and because I tune one step down on top of that, it's really easy to play, really comfortable to play. So for example, if I were to play bends, it's not putting a lot of resistance on those things. And I really enjoy it because obviously when I play percussive things, I really like hearing the clack of the string against the frets. And when you have a lot of tension, that just doesn't happen as easily. So that's one of the things that I enjoy, but of course that is personal preference. This guitar has 22 frets, a single coil, and a humbucker. And the only drawback I find about the design is that this knob for changing the tones gets in the way when you are using palm mutes in the first or second strings. It's not the biggest deal depending on what your technique is, but I hope that in the future they move them over the side or another place of the guitar. In terms of how this guitar looks, I really like it over the other models, especially because it has the matte black minimalistic look to it, and I am into science fiction a lot, so obviously I like this look of this guitar. And this white Hush guitar is one of my coolest looking headless guitars. I really like the red accents that it has, and it looks cool. It's not easy to make a headless travel guitar that also happens to look good, so I appreciate that design. And of course, the main feature of this guitar is that you can remove the frame. And I find this very cool because you can sneak them into airports. Yeah, the fact that it doesn't look like a guitar is very beneficial because sometimes it might be a little bit scary carrying a guitar in a plane and not knowing if you're gonna have problems with it. And another thing that I realized that I found really interesting is that they have the Allen keys on the back of the guitar, and I really like the attention to detail on this. So overall, I would say that I really enjoyed this guitar, and it would be really good for those situations in which you might not be able to bring your full kit, pedal board or amplifier, or even if you're just a beginner who don't necessarily want to spend a lot of money on a guitar plus an amplifier plus effects or guitar plugins. So this is a really good alternative for having those things in one place, and it works really well as a travel guitar. The only thing that I would like to see is the addition of a compressor and a global EQ, as well as a different positioning of these knobs. But overall, I'm really happy with this guitar, and I find myself playing it very often, especially because of how comfortable it is. This guitar will be down to $469 starting today and finishing on the 10th of June. And that's it. Bye.